And one thing that I thought, well, two things I thought. Um, it looked as if, and it might have, just because I've been around television, it looked like there possibly was a reshoot in terms of maybe the first shoot. It was hard to tell, so it might have just been a different time of the day. Maybe they went to break, went to lunch, and then found a way to get to these harder topics. But it also did look like, I tried to actually rewind it and really look detailed. A lot of shows do this. They'll do a reshoot with the same visual to get a different part that they didn't get the first time. That may have happened. But either way, however they got it, if they got it after lunch or if they got it a mere couple minutes after, it doesn't matter. It just was still very emotional. But can I tell you one thing that I really liked about her? And especially, sometimes I feel like with reality TV, okay, so I remember doing an episode of, and we'll get to in 1 second. I did an episode of a show, and I remember there was certain directions or angles we were going to go. Now, in terms of work and career, like I remember actually there was a second episode that could have been done. And I never necessarily got that because maybe I was deemed not easy to work with, but the directions we were going to go were not suitable for me. Now, there was nothing bad in comparison to what Brynn is having to deal with. But I valued so much because I know there's a big conversation sometimes that goes on where, it's like, oh, and, you're forced to do this and you're forced to do this. And yes, reality TV in a lot of ways has a lot of negative games and ways to sort of maneuver, I mean, gosh, the TV show Unreal on, I believe it was Hulu, or it ended up on Hulu. We'll tell you all you need to know about that. And again, I've worked in front of a camera, in front of a radio, behind the camera. So I've seen and know a lot of the things, but I will tell you that ultimately, in most cases, you have the wherewithal to set your boundary. So again, as I was saying, I did this one episode of a show, and I remember had I been more easy breezy, I probably would have got the second episode. I didn't get the second episode. I was amazing on the show, but my boundaries said, we don't, nope, we don't play like that. We don't play on that, and we don't play like that. It's irrelevant on what it was. Now, on the good note, I did get my pay increase because I was like, we're starting to go to crazy town, and I'm just, no, I actually have a skill set. Radio is what I do. This is fun, but no. And so not comparable in any ways of what Brynn is talking about, but I valued so much that she did the shutdown. She said, nope, we are not talking about it. Again, was it a reshoot? Was it after they broke for lunch? Was it, getting a call from, somebody in production that kind of like helped her get to the space and had her realize that sharing it would be a way to help others also, which I think ultimately is what happened here. I don't know when, where, and how, but I'm glad that it did go there. But I think what was important is that she set a boundary. So you knew you were a little bit more in a safe and protective space. Do you see what I'm saying? Her saying this, it's like, I don't know. Am I putting too much on it? But I'm saying I love the way she knew that it was going to be hard, and it wasn't necessarily something she was going to give without some access of control. And I think that's just so important. And, whether you lose an opportunity, whether you get looked at as you're tougher to film with, et cetera, whether whatever you have, even in this situation. And again, reality TV has a whole host of stuff for sure. I watch all the shows, and then you always see what had went on behind the scenes, et cetera. But I just thought this was a great thing for her because, she knew what she was going to go through. She knew how she was going to feel. She knew that it wasn't for play. This is, if I'm going to say it, let's do this, respectfully, and give a little bit of an authentic communication. Again, you might be watching it like it wasn't that serious. I kind of think it was, and I thought, okay, I like this girl. Not because of the story she told, but because she was like, nope, we're not doing it. I'm not. I like that. I like that. I like that a lot. Anyways, the biggest thing of that is she's just basically talking about.
Hey, Ronnie Jr.